Thread breaks can be caused by so many things such as bad needle, bad thread, bad design, not hooping properly, needle plate damage, press foot height, tension, wrong timing, wrong needle dip, even the lack of oil on the rotary hook can cause thread breaks. Now the question is, how can I prevent thread breaks? My first recommendation is to check your needles. As you can see in this video, right now I'm stitching with a needle that doesn't have been installed properly. You can see right away that the stitching doesn't look pretty good and immediately has a thread break. The needle was installed with the hole facing to the left. In order to fix this, I will loosen the screw and then I will reinstall the needle with the hole straight facing towards me. After I have installed the needle properly, I will test my machine again. Also, I can recommend to inspect the needle to see if it's not bent. If it's bent, replace the needle. As you can see in the video, the thread is now more stable. I just want to remind you that the groove of the needle goes to the front and the scarf always go to the back. Other possible cause of thread breaks is the thread. If the thread you are using is too old or maybe is defected, that can cause a lot of thread breaks. I believe weather is a very important factor for the resistance of the thread. My recommendation is to test different brands of thread. In the embroidery industry, there are two types of thread. One is rayon and the other one is polyester. I personally recommend polyester because it's a stronger thread and it doesn't fade. The design is the soul of the embroidery machine. If you have a real good design, the machine will perform excellent. But if you have a bad design, the machine can turn your worst nightmare. Here's an example of a design that has been properly digitized. You can see how smooth the machine is running with no thread breaks. Now this logo has been not digitized properly. We are not using the correct density and we are not using the correct stitch type. Now if you notice, you can see that the machine is not stitching very smooth as the other logo. And now it's starting to having thread breaks. When you have stitches too close, that can cause a lot of thread breaks. As you can see here, a bad design can give you a lot of headaches. So at the end of this second logo, we had 9 thread breaks. So my recommendation is, if you suddenly starting having thread breaks with your machine, test on other logos, especially the ones that you already know that those are stitching well. And if you don't have one, contact us and we will provide you one so you can test your machine. After a few runs, if your machine suddenly start having thread breaks, it's very possible that it's for the lack of oil in the rotary hook. So I highly recommend to oil the rotary hook every 2 to 4 hours of use. Also, I can recommend you to clean the rotary hook using a compressed air can. In order to do this, you will need to remove the needle plate. Then carefully remove the bobbin case from the hook assembly. Using a compressed air can, blow all the dust from the rotary hook. Place back the needle plate, put the 2 screws on top and tie them up. Put 1 drop of oil into the rotary hook and place back the bobbin case into the hook assembly. If the rotary hook of your machine is out of timing, that also can cause a lot of thread breaks. Let me show you how you can check the rotary hook timing. To check the rotary hook timing, we must remove the needle plate. In order to load the needle, push and rotate the block knob counterclockwise until you see the tip of the hook on the back of the needle. This is the tip of the hook. You must stop when the tip of the hook is on the back of the needle. That is your timing position. Now we must check if we are in the correct degree. The timing range must be from 198 to 203. To know the exact timing of your machine, contact technical support with your serial number. To reset the needle, press the 100-degree icon and then confirm it. In order to readjust the rotary hook timing, you need to lower the needle to the actual timing position. Then check the degree dial and take note of what degree the machine is in. Then reset the main shaft by pressing the 100-degree icon and then confirm it. Now let me show you the rotary hook. These 3 screws are what's holding the rotary hook in place. To readjust the rotary hook, you need to loosen this screw and this screw. You will leave tight the sticking out screw. So now I'm going to loosen the first screw. Then I will rotate the main shaft in order to expose the second screw. Then I will loosen the second screw. Then I will rotate the rotary hook to the timing position that I want to set it up. In this case, I want to change my timing from 202 to 200 degree. So I will place my main shaft at 200 degree. So now I will loosen the stick it out screw and I will reposition the rotary hook to 200 degree and then I will tighten up the screw. I just want to remind you that the tip of the rotary hook goes at the back of the needle, the closest possible but not touching the needle. This is how you can test to see if you have a gap between the tip of the rotary hook and the needle. After you have successfully readjusted the rotary hook timing, make sure to tighten the other 2 screws of the rotary hook. Once you're finished, reset the main shaft by pressing the 100-degree icon. Then place back the cover, put the 2 screws on the side and tighten them up. Then place back the needle plate, put the 2 screws on the top and tighten them up. Put 1 drop of oil into the rotary hook and then place back the bobbin case into the hook assembly.